I started painting elephants really about 8 years ago. Or shall I say, I painted my first elephant about 8 years ago. My parents do the African trips. They go and they spend a week to 2 weeks over there, and they just absolutely love it. And they go over and they travel and they take pictures. And so, of course, I get to see some of the pictures. And there was one picture in particular that my stepmother had taken of a mother and a baby elephant drinking at a watering hole. And it was a really neat picture. Well, my father had commissioned, they were coming up on an anniversary, if I remember correctly, and he commissioned me to paint this photograph that my stepmother had taken. And it was, again, a really cool, interesting picture of this mother-baby elephant drinking together. And so my father wanted to have that painting put, in a frame and give it to her as a gift. So that was my first elephant painting that I had ever created. My friends who went to the University of Alabama, and I have many of them, they, had, a few of them had seen it and said, that is, great painting, would you do it for me? Would you do one for me? And I kind of resisted at first just because I was doing angels at the time, and I really felt like that was what I needed to focus on and kind of get known for. But then I started doing landscapes and some other different bodies of work because I just, as an artist, you get a little tired of painting the same thing over and over. So I started painting elephants kind of, full time or at full speed about 3 years ago, and I knew I was in the right state for it because the mascot for the University of Alabama is an elephant. And so most of my buyers are University of Alabama graduates or big fans. And I'm actually an Auburn graduate, but I grew up watching and rooting for the University of Alabama. It's in my blood. I love their football team, and I went to the Bear Bryant show when I was a kid and met him, and some friends of mine were very gracious and invited me to the Alabama football games, and I went. I just fell in love with Alabama football. But when it was time to go to college, I wanted to be an architect initially, and when you want to be an architect in this state, you go to Auburn University. So a handful of us went to Auburn, but I'm originally from Miami. So even though there's a huge rivalry here between Auburn and Alabama, I've never really felt it in me because my roots aren't here. My family's not from Alabama, we're from Florida. And so like my dad, my stepmother, and my mother, they were big Florida fans or University of Miami fans. But so when we came here, I really didn't feel, that thing that a lot of fans do where they feel like they can only be loyal to one or the other. I just wanted our state to do well, but I grew up on Alabama football, and then I went to Auburn. But my Auburn friends, of course, they have to give me grief about the fact that I paint elephants, but they're just such majestic, beautiful animals, and the fact that they, are the mascot for the university is just even better. But no, I love both teams and watching collegiate sports and Alabama football, Auburn football. And then, of course, my allegiance then goes to the SEC. But anyway, the real reason I started the elephants was really because of the African trips that my parents took. And they still go on those trips, and the pictures are just amazing. And but that's why my paintings don't look so collegiate. They're not really about the elephant being a status of the university, but there is something I do in my artwork that I kind of put in there just for fun, and that's the hidden A. And I really just do that because, not really because of the football team or even the university so much as just it is just my way of being loyal to my state, Alabama. And it's not I don't use the University of Alabama logos or anything like that, but I do put a little A in all of my elephant. It's in my elephant artwork. It's kind of like Where's Waldo? You know, can you find the hidden A? And then the only other thing I do really differently with the elephants is I use a palette knife when I create them, which is different from the rest of my work. I usually use a combination of palette knife and brush, but with the elephants, it's about 95% done with the palette knife, which just gives it that neat kind of loose feel. The last thing I'll say about the elephants and being in this state is we have a great zoo here, and I was actually very fortunate to do a large commission piece for them that they auctioned at their gala. But our zoo here in Birmingham, which is actually a fabulous zoo and probably our best tourist attraction, I think, we actually have 4 male elephants, what they call bull elephants here, which is very unusual. And I've been told we're the only zoo in the state or in the country that has 4 male elephants. So anyway, that's kind of neat. But no, I love doing the elephants. It's fun, and my Alabama friends love it, and I'll just keep painting them because they're just beautiful creatures.